now it's time to find out what's coming up later in the show.
At 12:30, in a King Canute-style act of deluded grandeur, weatherman Fred Talbot will be attempting to genuinely leap from Scotland to Ireland.
And at 12:42, we'll be talking to members of our audience about their most extreme and secret sexual perversions, whether they like it or not.
At 12:55, the sprout-faced little boy who does the video game reviews on Live and Kicking will be given the sound kicking he so richly deserves.
True, like that one. And at 12:59, Saddam Hussein will be dropping a vial of anthrax in the heart of London, and you'll be able to watch us and our audience die slow and agonising deaths before Around Westminster comes on at 1 o'clock. Coming up, here's what's on later in the show. At 12:21, Raj Paso will prove the universe is a figment of his godlike imagination, and then if he stops concentrating for a minute, all matter will be sucked up into his colon.
At 12:30, we'll be asking, are UFOs real? And if so, why do they only appear to people who are mad? Or too stupid to even operate a camera properly? At 12:42, we'll be talking to the couple who've employed Louise Woodward to look after their children and asking them, are you insane?
Maybe not. She's going to try a bit harder this time, isn't she? And at 12:50, we'll be getting the women in our studio audience who are wearing the least clothes to stand near the cameras in an attempt to distract from the poor quality of the script, because it worked for TFI, didn't it?
It did.
Right. And here is what's coming up later on the show.
At 12:55, Nicky Clark will have the audacity to tell you how to wear your hair.
And at 12:30, Richard Herring will have the audacity to make a joke about someone else's hair.
At 12:49, Charlie from Casualty will be explaining how his acting training enables him to pull almost 2 different faces.
And at 12:56, we'll be asking who pays the piper, and does the piper pay his own national insurance contributions, or are they in turn covered by this mysterious employer?
There we go. That one didn't work, did it? At 12:25, we'll be tasting wines from around the world in a thinly veiled attempt to get drunk at the licence payer's expense.
And at 12:32, we'll be asking, are magic marker pens really magic? Or does it just feel that way if you spend enough time in the multi-storey car park sniffing them?
Don't do that, of course. At 12:40, we'll be talking to the lads who beat up Tony Blair's son and giving them the address of the sprout-faced little boy who does the video guru reviews on Live and Kicking.
And Rich did mean to say the video guru reviews.
I did, I meant to say that.
You're wondering.
He makes me so angry, Adam Stu.
Can't even speak.
I can't speak.
And at 12:30, we'll be asking Oasis wildman Liam Gallagher how it feels to be considered a thuggish, uncouth yob, even by Australians.
Yeah. You know that song Dr. Jones by Aqua, Stu?
Yeah.
Arnold from Different Strokes bought every copy of that. That's how it became successful. Here's what's coming up later in the show. At 12:25, we'll be asking, why do fools fall in love with Anthea Turner?
And at 12:35, we'll be showing you how to brighten up a child's birthday party by serving them plates of those little yellow cakes you find in men's urinals.
That's right. At 12:47, I'll be asking, who is the real sick man?
It's you, Rich. It's always you.
It might not be this time.
You.
It isn't.
At 12:59, we'll be celebrating St. Patrick's Day by making Brad Pitt perform all his lines from The Devil's Own in front of an invited audience of real Irish people. I need that money, Tom!
Hey. You can do those impressions too, Stu.
It's good,
great.
isn't it? Yeah.
Rory Bremner, watch out, because you're rubbish. It's time to see what's coming up later on TMWRNJ! At 12:25, we'll be finding out from Norman Bates how he'll be spending his Mother's Day.
Mother, oh God! And at 12:30, we'll be remembering the life and work of the world's most famous mother, Mother Teresa, as we take a look at a set of previously unpublished explicit glamour shots.
At 12:49, we'll be genuinely planting Leonardo DiCaprio in an allotment to see if he will sire a harvest of giant sprouts.
Leave him alone. At 12:56, we'll be revealing a cure for Andrew Lloyd Webber's mystery illness, unless we receive £5,000 in unmarked bills. And coming up later on the show today, at 12:23, we'll be taking a look at one of Channel 5's flagship new quality pieces of original programming, Changing Rooms, in which a hidden camera is placed in a women's changing room. And that's it.
At 12:25, we'll be talking to the producers of Robot Wars and asking them if it's strictly necessary for all the presenters of that show to talk like this. Give them a round of applause.
And at 12:45, we'll be taking a look at another one of Channel 5's new pieces of quality original programming, Changing Partners, in which people are forced to divorce their current partner and move in with the elderly woman next door, whether she likes it or not.
And finally at 12:52 we'll be explaining why coral reefs are in danger of being wiped out. It's because John Prescott is eating them all. And an amusing
The Clive
photo
Anderson
there.
job there. And coming up later in the show.
At 12 o'clock we'll be previewing one of Channel 5's flagship pieces of original new programming, Ground Force, in which Alan Titchmarsh is sent to Kosovo as NATO's official ground force on his own.
And at 12:10 we'll be showing you how to combine acupuncture and voodoo to cure the minor ailments of people you don't like without even having to meet them.
At 12:20 we'll be meeting H from Steps and asking him to calm down for God's sake.
And at 12:29 we'll be looking at a chicken pie similar to the one eaten by Prince William in a London pub this week, and then asking royal correspondent James Whittaker to speculate on how quickly the pie would pass through the Prince's digestive tract and out into an Eton school toilet.
Well, it's Oscar week,
Oh,
Stu,
yeah.
and it's, you know, I know how Gwyneth Paltrow felt crying there, actually.
Yeah, of
crying.
course, because you're used to outstaying your welcome, aren't you, as well, Rich?
No, because I have won an award,
Oh,
Stu.
yeah, right.
Yeah, I have actually won a Games Master Golden Joystick. Yeah. And there it is, that's the real one. That came out of Dominic Diamond's own hands, Stu, that came from.
Oh, look, it's lovely, isn't it? Oh, look, it's fallen on the floor.
Careful,
Oh, no, it smashed, Rich!
Careful,
you
that's the
smashed a
actual
bit.
one, Stu.
Actually smashed.
That's the actual one.
You see, oh, it's not...
Don't do that.
must have
That
fallen
was
on
the
the
real one, you can't do that.
floor or something.
We could have given that to the poor
They don't want it.
children.
Anyway, and coming up later in the show...
At 12:25 we'll be looking at Channel 5's flagship new original programme, How Do They Do That?, in which the staff of Channel 5 sit down and watch some good programmes from other channels and then ask each other, how do they do that?
And at 12:34 we'll be providing a fitting response to newly declared billionaire Michael Flatley's Feet of Flames video by setting his feet on fire with some flames.
Oh, yeah. At 12:42 the BBC will pull us off the air for comprehensive 19-hour coverage of the All East Anglia Under-12s Tiddlywinks contest.
And at 12:50 we'll be looking at Salman Rushdie's latest brilliant disguise. That's right, it's a pair of orange sunglasses.
Who is that masked man, Stu?
And in honour of the House of Lords' resistance to lowering the homosexual age of consent, this week on TMWRNJ is Gay Week. And coming up later in the show...
At 12:25 we'll be meeting Vinnie Jones, the exception that proves the rule that everyone is at least partially gay. There isn't a gay bone in his body.
And at 12:34 we'll be lowering the gay age of consent to 16, but only for 15 minutes, before raising it back to 18 again, and then seeing if society has collapsed into chaos and anarchy, or whether in fact it hasn't really made much difference at all, to be quite honest.
At 12:42 Rupert Everett will be explaining why he is the ideal husband for Prince Edward.
And at 12:50 we'll be meeting Britain's gayest shepherd.
Let's have a look at him then.
There he is there.
Doesn't look particularly gay,
For a
Stu.
shepherd,
How
Rich,
do you
yeah.
quantify gayness?
And please welcome. And coming up later in the show...
At 12:21 we'll be looking at another of Channel 5's quality pieces of original programming, Can't Cook, Won't Cook, in which some people who can't cook sit around in a kitchen and refuse to cook.
And at 12:32, David Beckham will be revealing how he'll never forget his son's name because it's tattooed on his back, and we'll be helping him to never forget the last World Cup by holding him down and tattooing the words "stupid, stupid, childish fool" on his face.
At 12:47 we'll be meeting Charlton Heston, who will be explaining that it's not guns that kill people, it's Americans who kill people.
And at 12:59, we'll be talking to Britain's fattest shepherd. There he is.
Not that fat, Stu.
Fat for a shepherd, let's
Oh, I
face
suppose
it.
so, yeah.
And coming up later in the show...
At 12:25 we'll be looking at another of Channel 5's original pieces of programming, One Man and His Dog, where the one man is H from Steps and his dog is a very hungry Rottweiler.
And at 12:30, me and Rich will be looking forward to a nightmare vision of our own horrible future by watching the new BBC One Hale and Pace series.
No, my face! Pace has got my face, Stu!
Think of the money, Norman.
OK, at 12:40 we'll be sacking everyone at the BBC who has ever taken cocaine, leaving the station with a skeleton staff of 4 Aherd, Grandpa Flump and 1 of the Blue Peter Cat.
And at 12:49, we'll be meeting Britain's jauntiest shepherd.
Doesn't look particularly jaunty.
Yes, but look at that, look at his hat, the jaunty angle of it. It's
No,
good.
I don't agree with this.
And coming up later in the show...
At 12:15 we'll be previewing another one of Channel 5's quality pieces of original programming, Through the Keyhole, in which a hidden camera is pointed through the keyhole of a woman's changing room, and that's it.
And at 12:25, we'll be visiting some of these Star Wars fans who've been camped out on Hollywood Boulevard for the last 2 months and tattooing their faces with the phrase, "I have lost touch with reality. Kill me now, kill me."
At 12:30, we'll be looking at the pictures that prove the rumours that Debbie McGee once stooped so low as to be intimate with Paul Daniels.
And at 12:45, we'll be meeting Britain's angriest shepherd.
Doesn't look very angry,
He's
Stu.
calm now, but there's a raging beast which dwells within him. And coming up later in the show...
At 12:21, we'll be looking at another of Channel 5's pieces of original programming, Big Willie, Little Willie, in which large rugby player Will Carling teams up with small jockey Willie Carson to travel the world comparing the size of each other's genitalia in different climatic conditions.
And at 12:30, we'll be warning young people that if they take drugs, they may end up looking like this.
It's Tom Parkerbold. At 12:40, we'll be telling viewers who are currently doing exams not to worry if they don't get the grades that they were hoping for. Simply lower your life expectations accordingly.
And at 12:50, we'll be meeting Britain's most Star Wars-obsessed shepherd. There he is.
Doesn't look.
Oh, there he is.
Doesn't look particularly Star Wars obsessed, do you? You'd think he'd dress up or something.
He is obsessed, Rich. He's seen Star Wars and The Empire Strikes Back.
What? Not Return of the Jedi?
No, he didn't, he's not that obsessed.
Fair enough.
And coming up later in the show...
At 12:15, we'll be attempting to remove the smile of disbelief from James Major's face. He thought it was a publicity stunt too.
And at 12:25, we'll be attempting to wipe the scowl of disbelief from the face of Emma Noble's parents.
I thought it was a publicity stunt too. Saying in a high voice.
Go on.
At 12:35, we'll be revealing the details of Prince Edward's stag night, where royal servants will tie a herd of stags to posts, and then the gay bachelor, his brothers, his father and his nephews will blast them in the faces with shotguns. Royal tradition.
Royal tradition, yeah. And at 12:49, we'll be meeting Britain's most genetically modified shepherd.
Doesn't look particularly modified, Stu.
He's been modified at a subatomic level, Rich.
Okay.
And coming up later in the show today...
At 12:25, Jonathan Aitken will be revealing that since he's had to use the communal prison showers, it isn't only his Jonathan that is aching. Aitken, sorry.
And at 12:35, we'll be joining the people of Kosovo in thanking NATO for accidentally blowing up their friends, poisoning the rivers and creating a localised ecological disaster.
Thanks, NATO. Satire, Stu, satire. Yeah. At 12:45, we'll be following the astonishing revelation that Tara Palmer-Tomlinson has taken cocaine with the news that Vanessa Feltz has eaten some cakes.
And at 12:55, we'll be meeting Britain's only professional penguin shepherd.
There he is.
Yeah, in the kingdom of the Penguin, Prince Charles is the king penguin.
And only there.